Kayye. We are here at InfoComm 2024, and I'm honored to have the President and CEO of Sharp, Mike Marusic, join us. Mike, thank you very much for doing this. I know you're a really busy guy.
Not at all. Thank you for coming by.
I'm honored. It's all Sharp now. Give me an update.
Yeah, it's a whole new playing field for us. We've gone through that transition of Sharp NEC, and now we're rebranding everything Sharp. All of the legacy NEC people are now part of the Sharp organization, meaning on Sharp payroll.
Yeah.
Everything's converted. So now it's more about going forward and building out the business and strengthening what we do for the channel.
If you don't mind, rumors of factories closing, things like that. Set the record straight.
Yeah, it was interesting. I think translations happened that maybe got confusing when it came from Japan to the U.S. So yes, we closed down one of our factories, Sakai, which we made no products out of that factory. So it was a whole different function servicing other people. And what we're doing is converting that to a data center, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's going to be an AI data center, but obviously it drew a lot of concern in the channel that Sharp was exiting displays. That's not the case. We hadn't had products there for many years that were built out of that factory. So right now it's more about growing out the best of breed products from any factory we choose to provide from.
Well, if you're getting out of the space, you wasted a lot of money on a gigantic booth, because this is one of the biggest booths on the show floor. It literally is. So I'm curious where, I feel like you've got this vision of you have to look at things at a much higher level than most of us do. So I'm curious where you see the market is right now. Are you comfortable with it, where the market is? How do you see the rest of 2024 sort of shaking out financially, but also technologically?
Yeah, I think, right now, I think the market's a little slow, to be honest. We're seeing a lot of opportunities. We see a huge pipeline. I would just love for more of that to close right now, to be honest. But I do see that it's picking up. A lot of interest in the booth, a lot of people talking. Really, I see two big areas for us. Collaboration, people are very excited about that. I think that they begin to see all the other technologies you can put together in a collaborative environment. The other obvious one is direct view LED.
Okay.
That's really emerging for us. Big challenge for us now is how do you manage projects?
Yeah.
And they're getting bigger and bigger, more innovative, and that's become the bigger challenge for us, how to build out that business.
Speaking of direct view LED, for, I don't know, at least a decade, people have been talking about how it's going to replace projectors. Well, you're one of the companies that makes both. Yeah. So I feel like you're going to give me an honest answer.
Yeah, I think that there are certain environments where direct view LED is going to replace projection, because it does provide a better, certainly in higher brightness areas, it has a greater wow factor. There is a giant cost differentiator between the two. Yeah. And so I think you're going to see that it'll be, if it does replace it, we're talking 10 years.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's, you look at auditoriums, schools, you really aren't going to put...
projection method.
Yeah, exactly.
How are you going to do that?
You can't do certain things, with DV LED. So I think that both will exist for quite some time. I'm not saying it's going to go away in 10 years, but that conversation can't happen for at least 10 years.
Okay, and if you were just getting into the market right now, and you're a new integrator, you're a new person that came over from IT, what would you be looking at right now to kind of get yourself excited, or maybe even to launch a business? Yeah,
I think that, I go back to collaboration. I think the biggest struggle companies are having right now is how to take their employees that were remote and bring them back into the office. And obviously when you're home, you work with different technologies, you're kind of more flexible. So how do you bring that to the office? How do you take that technology back into the office where I can move from one spot to another in the building and leverage the same technology? So if I was an integrator today, I'd be looking at software, moving things, teams, how do you move spaces around and allow people to be more flexible? I also think that the ability to go upscale, right? A lot of companies now, if you look at the infrastructure that we had in place in 2019, it really doesn't allow for today. And companies are looking at, help me get there. So project management, right? Taking people and showing them what's possible in their offices to draw people back into the building. I think that's a big opportunity that integrators are kind of passing on right now.
So you're alluding to maybe there's a great opportunity for someone to provide more services rather than focusing totally on products.
Yeah, I mean, the services side of the business, you walk around here in a show like this, and Sharp provides certain technologies, but there's a lot of technology here. Yeah. And I think if the VAR integrator looks at all the different things that they can bring to a customer, allowing them to go upscale, make their office nicer, make it easier for people to collaborate. That project management, that design element, that's really where the money is going to be. And that's how you separate yourself. And some of the conversations I've had this week are really about that. Hey, I like this technology. Can I do this? Can I do that? Can I bring that to a customer? That's really the opportunity.
And if I'm sure you have goals and you have initiatives that you're trying to put in place. Could you give us a hint as to maybe one of your big ones that you feel like you really have a lot of control over?
Well, I think obviously more simplistic is we really have to finish out that integration of Sharp and NEC. And I think, I apologize to the channel. There were some hiccups, and we're working through that. We're kind of now clear of that. Our inventory is building back up. So that's first, right? I think longer term, how do we make ourselves more integrator friendly and help everyone move up like I was talking about before? So we're looking to double the size of the company next few years, really regrow the business. We had two great companies come together. Sharp was really good on the engineering side, really good at production side. NEC was outstanding at customer service and support. How do you bring those two together and really show the value we can bring to the customer?
Well, you have some great people. I've worked with a lot of your people for many, many years. You got great people there. Oh, one last question. Cloud. What's your cloud strategy? Have you thought about that? I mean, because it seems to be a big topic here at this year's show.
We're evolving. That's probably the best way. I think, the last couple of years you heard more about cloud. Now you're hearing more AI.
Yeah.
Cloud and AI are really the same thing in many ways. I know people talk about it, but the infrastructure from cloud you're going to use in AI.
Yeah.
I think really it's about usage and how do you manage your devices? How do you control your devices over the cloud, which we have a lot of technologies around that already.
Yeah, digital signage, for example.
Digital signage. But I think also it's how do you show the productivity for people using AI? Meaning you had a meeting, what came out of it?
Yeah.
So how do you integrate not only the meeting technology, but also what's in Microsoft or Google Cloud? How do you bring that back and say, here's your meeting, here's the productivity you drove out of that? That's a new revenue opportunity for integrators.
That's kind of a good hint for what we might be seeing from Sharp in the future.
Next few years.
Mike, I really appreciate you doing
so much
this.
for coming by.
Thanks for what you're doing for the industry. Of course, we actually shot individual product videos in the entire booth already. You can see all of those by going to raypost.com/InfoComm, type in Sharp in the video search right now. And Keith Yankee did this awesome booth tour for me that was included in today's daily newsletter. So if you haven't had a chance to look at that, watch that because it shows you everything they're doing here in the booth. So thanks for watching. We got a lot more InfoComm 2024 to go, and best of luck to you, Mike.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.